Get money. Get money. Oh, wait a minute. It's not tight enough. I'm on TikTok Live. Go get me everybody else. It is hot. Almost as hot as me. Holy shit. That's fucked up. Wait, hold on. There we go. Can we hear and see me correctly or no? Can we hear and see me? Looking good? Alright, that's good. Awesome. How we doing? I don't know if you guys were here for the last live, but I got kicked off because someone tried to report my lives. But, you know, me and TikTok were cool, so I'm like, TikTok, don't listen to the haters. And TikTok was like, for sure, my guy, here's your live access back. So, you know. Hey, Mino, you're not first, but, you know, what's going on, baby? Ahmed is first, at least in this one. TikTok, hold on. Let me tell TikTok to go send a notification out so my peoples can get back in here. There we go. There we are. All right. I think we're good. We're all good though. We can all hear me. We can all see me. Let's go. I'm happy about this. I'm very happy about this. What's going on, people? I am back. I was gone for what, like an hour? Was it up to an hour? I don't know. But yeah, what's going on, people? How we doing? What's going on? What's up? They try to hate on your boy. They try to report your boy, but you know, we back, baby. Why does it feel like a knife is going through your chest every time you see a pic of your ex? Well, not me, you obviously. But the reason it feels like a knife going through your chest is because you regret the loss. You regret the loss, and it's fine. It's fine. But the way you get rid of that pain is to just get a better bitch. Haha. People think I'm joking when I say that, but I'm really not kidding. Either get the girl back or get a better one. Those are the only two options you have. Because the whole reason you regret the loss to begin with is because the loss itself stings. If you have the ability to replace, you're not going to feel the sting of the loss. It's like having $10,000 in your pockets and then, you know, you go home after a long day of walking around with it in your pocket, and then you count it again and you find out it's only $9,900, right? They only have $9,900, $100 is missing. It's gonna be like, aw, I'm missing $100, but will you like beat yourself up over it? No, because you still got over 9K left. You're fine. You know what I'm saying? So the loss only hurts because you don't have options. When you have options, that loss means nothing. You feel me? Bro, you still in jail? Nah. They put me in jail. I was there for like a good, I don't know how long I was there for, an hour? Maybe 30 minutes? I don't know. But I'm out now. Someone tried to report my live. It was like maybe one of those people I was, you know, giving my J. Cole rant to. They were pissed off, like, oh, fuck this guy. Report. And TikTok kicked me off. And I was like, hey, TikTok, don't listen to the haters, baby. Because I treat TikTok like I treat my bitches. I woo TikTok. I seduce TikTok. I'm like, TikTok, baby, sweetie, don't listen to these haters. Come on, baby. You know me. And TikTok was like, fine. And now I got my live back. I'll be risen up TikTok too. But yeah, I'm back, baby. I'm back. Best way to steal someone's girl. The most important thing is timing. You gotta time for when the guy is no longer the guy in her mind. That's the only way you can steal someone else's girl is if that person makes the mistake of letting their girl lose respect for them, right? So it's not so much you having like the amazing almighty power to just steal anyone's girl. It's you. The girl has to have already been looking for options outside of the man she's with. And then you happen to have the immaculate timing to just know exactly when to step in when she's looking for options. That's it. It's a timing thing, baby. When the mindset of getting another one, when the mindset of getting another one should stop? Never. The moment it stops, they start replacing you. See? Now, here's the thing. Having the mindset is one thing. Acting on it all the time is another. Right? You should always be prepared to walk away if things aren't looking the way you want them to look. Absolutely. However, you only use that as a mindset so that you don't stay in a situation you don't like and you don't continue to get taken advantage of by women, right? With that said, though, the threat of walking away from most relationships, if you are the guy that she's superbly emotionally invested in, is more than enough to get her to act right. More than enough. Does that make sense? So the irony to making sure that your relationship lasts longer and that you have actual long-lasting healthy relationships is that you should be willing to let go of it at any point in time. The moment you begin to start attaching yourself to the relationship, the moment you start attaching your self-worth, your identity to your relationship, now she has the power. Now she has the balls in the relationship because she knows you'll do anything it takes to maintain that identity. That's human nature. Whatever we attach to our identity, we tend to want to keep consistency with. So if you attach your girl, your relationship, your fiance, your wife to your identity, you're fucked. Because now she knows she's part of your identity, which essentially means she can threaten you with the threat of stripping away your identity, which is aka stripping away the relationship itself. Right? See, that's why I keep telling, especially married men. Married men are the ones that like fall for this all the time. This is why I don't respect most marriages out there. Most men getting to marriages to bump up their identity because they think it's a boost to their identity. And it's like, that's how they get you, bro. That's the ball and the chain on your ankles. That right there. The moment your girl, your wife knows that your identity is mixed up in her and her being your wife, dude, she's going to start misbehaving. She has no reason to act right at that point. Look what happened to Will Smith. Perfect example. When he was like, you know what, Jada, Will Smith impression. You know what, Jada, I'm done with you. I gotta leave you. I'm just done with you. Woo! When he was saying that, no one knew who Jada Pinkett was. The moment he started saying stuff like, oh, I'll make this work. I can't afford to lose this marriage. I hate failure and I refuse for my marriage to fail. Boom! Now all of a sudden, Tupac is the most important person in her life. You see how that works? That's women 101. It is their nature. And by the way, that's a good thing that's their nature. Don't hate them for it. This is where I disagree with the red pillars, right? Don't hate women for being that way. That's a good thing that they're that way. God made them that way. You want to know why God made women like that? Because that's God's way of telling you, don't prioritize the woman. Don't prioritize the woman. Every time you do, you fail. Read your Bible. Every prophet got tested the same way. Essentially, most of them got tested with women because women are the hardest, most complex test you'll ever face as a man. And the ones that were able to deal with the woman correctly, they were right with God. The ones that chose God over the woman, they were right with God. Cool. Have a priority that isn't a woman, cool. The moment they chose the woman, separation from God, punishment. That's the lesson. That's the point. Never choose the woman over anything else. Never prioritize her. Oh, I'm a married man. This is who I am. You're fucked. You're fucked. You see how that works? Yeah? It's very important, man. If you learn no other lessons about women, that's the only one you need. Never prioritize them. They are never the point. They can never be a part of your identity. It can never work that way. Nope. Let's see. Does it mean anything when the ex is listening to your favorite song out of nowhere? How do you know your ex is listening to your favorite song out of nowhere? Did she tell you that? That's one. Two, why are you worried about what it means? You sound like a girl right now, man. Oh, what does this mean? What does it mean? Like, nah, that's how women think. As a man, If you want to find something out, if there's something you want to know, like whether she's still invested in you or not, you can test for those things. You don't wait around and figure out what things mean. That's not how men function. Go and figure things out. Go and compliance test it yourself. You want to know if she still likes you, if she still loves you, if she wants you back. Test those things out. That's what compliance tests are for. Okay? What are your thoughts on Dr. Umar? Are snow bunnies worth it? First of all, let me give you a higher sense of consciousness to move through life with. If you see life primarily through race, you're an idiot. Let's get that out of the way. If your entire worth and identity is wrapped up in race, you're gonna miss out on so much life and living that you're not even gonna understand what I'm talking about. The fact that some women happen to not be a member of your race does not make them more valuable or less valuable than the women that happen to look like you. Like, do you understand the point? I promise you, when you're going into the dating market, the marketplace, in any marketplace, you're not going to get a car like because that's maybe I'm jumping into that analogy too quickly. All right, let me slow down a little bit. It's a marketplace. That's what it is. And every marketplace is designed for the same thing. For you to go and extract the best value you can within your reach, right? Why would you limit yourself by such a construct as, oh, she happens to be the same skin color as me? That's stupid. Would you choose one girl over the other? Even if the one girl that looks like you, that has the same skin color as you, doesn't give you compliance, isn't as beautiful, and the girl that isn't the same skin color as you is willing to give you a lot of compliance and is beautiful. Why in your right mind would you choose the one that's the same skin color as you that's giving you less over the one that's not the same skin color as you that's giving you more? It's a value thing. Now, I'm using that as an example. Obviously, there's women that are your color as well that, you know, give you amazing value. Sure, I'm not saying that it's impossible or anything like that. I'm just saying, don't limit yourself to just fucking, oh, I have to be strict about only dating these women because of some kind of dumb idealistic ideology of like making sure I keep it within Mitch. I'm a Nigerian man. In case you haven't noticed, all we do is fuck every type of woman and reproduce with them. You want to know why we do that? Do you want to know like the secret that other Nigerians won't tell you? It's because we understand that the more people we make us, the less people hate us. We're trying to take over the world. We don't give a fuck. It's a world domination thing. Do you see how that mindset works? You think we're limited by, oh no, this one is black, this one. No, everybody can get it. As long as she's nice to me, she gives me compliance, she's fucking beautiful, obviously. As long as those things are set, she's down with my program, who fucking cares what color or culture she comes from? I'm going to absorb her into mine anyway. So a lot of these talks about, oh, snow bunnies, are they worth it or not? It's coming from weak ass men that can't communicate with anything that isn't completely familiar to them anyway. It's a lack of intelligence. One of the biggest, most obvious signs of intelligence is your ability to communicate with someone effectively that might not see things the way you do, that does not have the same experiences you do. That's intelligence. So don't ask me if snow bunnies are worth it. Go and figure it out. Be smart. Be resourceful. Go and figure it out. Now, here's what you'll find, ironically enough. Guess what? No matter what race you date, there's amazing women in all of them. There's also piece of shits in all of them. That's how it works. And want to know why you run into piece of shit women? The way they're raised, the environments they grew up in, and even more importantly, your lack of leadership skills. Because that's really where disrespectful women come from. It's your inability to show them that you're someone worth respecting. Right? That same quote-unquote snow bunny that's being fucking rude to you is nice to someone else. That same ghetto hood rat that's rude to someone else can be nice to you. It's women, no matter what color they are. It's women. Some jobs do require marriage to up higher. Then don't do those jobs. Duh. Like, you want to sell your life away to a company because of what? Like, what job is worth you selling your life away? What are you doing? Gotta be better than that. We used to share the same Spotify, but other out of nowhere, I'm guessing what you meant to say. You wrote other there. Out of nowhere, I saw she put the song on her playlist. Why do you still have a playlist if why do you still share a playlist if you're not together anymore? When you're not together with a woman anymore, you should cut everything off. She's no longer with you, therefore the value that you provide is gone. That's how it should work. You see what I'm saying? Should be gone. Let's see. Would you rather get a number or IG from a cold approach? Number always. I'm not trying to be her fan. I'm trying to be her romantic interest. Why? Oh, just hit up my IG. Go in there with the rest of the losers in my DMs. Go. No, get the number. It's more consequential, and it's a greater sacrifice. She has to like you to give you her number. She doesn't have to like you to give you her IG. Does that make sense? Very important. I'm a female, but I'm very curious what you have to say. Good for you. What do you think of Zerka's understanding of women? I think he's tight, man. I think John Zerka's like actually tight. A lot of the things he says will not apply to a lot of people, though, to be honest, because he's approaching game from like someone that's him, and that's not even something I'm saying like as a way to disparage him, because that's something I do sometimes too, right? When, like, okay, let me start like this. A lot of men will never know this. I was fortunate enough to experience this in my life. This is why I know this. But there's a massive difference between the man that was raised by a strong masculine presence and every other man. It's a massive advantage that I can never even begin to explain. Right? You can always tell when a guy had a strong masculine presence in his life, especially during his formative years. I myself, my dad left when I was 2, right? Well, not left like a typical black father. No, I grew up in Nigeria, born and raised in Nigeria. My father left to Europe to go work for 10 years. He came back when I was 12. So I saw a massive difference in the household when it was just my mom and me and my dad over the phone on landlines versus when he came back physically. I saw that. I'll tell you a story. I've said this story before on a live, right? 12 years old. I was in high school at this point. I was like 2 years in high school. I got in really fucking early. And I got out really fucking early, thank God. But I was in high school. I was getting bullied, right? And my mom had taught me how to deal with bullies. My dad came back, like within like the first week of him coming back. I'm 12. He starts asking me about my life. Like, what's going on? How you doing in school? Blah, blah. I see all your grades. You're doing well, thank God. But how's school life? You know, girls, all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, I kind of have these like guys that keep picking on me, blah, blah. And then he goes, okay, cool. But you know how to deal with them, right? And I go, yeah, mom told me how to deal with them. And I repeated to him the same spiel my mom had told me, which is whenever you get hit, just turn around and go tell the teacher, right? And I said it and I rolled my eyes and I kind of just look off to the left because, you know, I'm being a dramatic little 12-year-old kid. And my dad goes, well, I turned back after some silence, actually. Like, it's like a fucking 10 seconds of silence. I'm like, wait, why hasn't he said anything? Like, I look back at my dad and the look he has on his face, I will never forget. Like, he genuinely looks terrified and disappointed that I had just said that. And then he goes, what? No. You hit them back. And it shocked me because this was the first time I ever heard that was an option. And right then and there, I'm not even kidding, this happened in Lagos, Nigeria. He tells me, he instructs me to push away all the couches in the living room, right? We had this little centerpiece rug and centerpiece table. Push all the couches out the way, take the table, lift it, go to the dining room with it. He takes a chalk that I have in my room because I have this little blackboard I used to like write all my ideas down on, puts it on the ground, makes a shape, a letter N. And that was when he taught me how to put my stance in the correct orthodox position, right? Put one foot on one end of the N, put another foot at the end of the other end of the N, and he gave me my first boxing lessons. First time in my life. My dad taught me how to shoot a proper jab down the center line. And needless to say, I got in several fights after that because it was like a load off my chest, right? Like, oh shit, my dad gave me permission. Bet I can now be as aggressive as I want to be. Because up until he was there, my mom had always told me aggressiveness and aggression as a man was a bad thing. My dad was the one that came and said, no, You're gonna be a punk bitch if you do that. You have to defend yourself. You have to hit someone. And you have to be okay with getting hit, because that's what comes with it. You see the difference? You see how that works? So, when you go through lessons like that as a young man, it inevitably gives you lessons in like confidence and charisma and standing up for yourself and being a disagreeable and aggressive in the world. And that will show as you move through life. That will definitely show. I promise you, that will show. You see how that works? It's very important. Very, very important. So, when I look at John Zerka, to come full circle, that's what he reminds me of. A guy that definitely grew up in the right situation. A feminine mom, a masculine dad. But he talks to people like everyone was raised in that situation. And everyone wasn't. Everyone wasn't. Unfortunately. But yeah. Shout out to John Zerka. I have a feeling we'd probably be good friends. He and I. Choose your experience wisely. We only have one life to experience. Sure. Number of Raji, indeed. Your take on venting to your woman. Mine says it should be vulnerable to her. I mean, that's what she's supposed to say, you know? Do I even want to go into that rant? I just came off one. But like, women want sensitivity in men, but they only want it from strong men. That's what people don't seem to understand. It's okay to be soft around your woman, but you have to show strength first. Like, if you're just a soft guy, they don't respect that. That's one. Two, don't make a habit of that. You know, you do want her to feel special and like, okay, you know what? You see a side of me other people don't get to see. That's fair. And, you know, your woman should definitely have the privilege of that, for sure. But even in that, don't fucking devolve into a whiny, spineless bitch, right? So be careful. You forgot to see my question. Did I see it at all, or did TikTok take it away? Write it again. Real talk. How you doing, Obsidian? A typical black father. My dad didn't leave me. You know what I mean. You know what I mean by the internet jokes and shit. Having a weak father is such a disadvantage. Can speak from experience. Indeed, man. Indeed. Don't keep anything you don't want to experience. Don't take anything you want to experience. My guy's just dribbling and talking and not saying anything relevant to the conversation right now. Better than having no dad in your life, though, so I'm grateful. Most people in the West have weak dads. I would say the opposite, honestly. That's going to sound fucked up, but I'd rather you don't have a dad at all than a weak one. Because at least with no dad, you're neutral. Now you can receive that masculine energy, that mentorship from someone that isn't your biological father, but is still a strong masculine influence. Like, I've had many masculine influences in my life that weren't my dad, right? So I would rather that than someone that sets you back. You know, it's the difference between doing the right things and having to correct the wrong mistakes first. Massive difference. In fact, I can tell the difference between those men, right? I can tell the men that didn't have fathers at all or not much of a masculine figure, and the men that, you know, had fathers, but those men are weak. I can even tell that in women too. I talk about this in one of my videos where I talk about the two different kinds of daddy issues. Everyone only ever talks about the one daddy issues women can have, which is, oh, her father wasn't in her life. She never had a masculine presence in her life. She doesn't have like that discipline or the ability to understand boundaries. Sure. But the more dangerous woman, in my opinion, in my experience, is the woman that had a father that was like her best friend. Fucking terrible. Terrible. Because that woman grows up with a terrible example of what masculine men look like. Right? And then she goes out thinking that every man is like her weak ass daddy that she was her best friends with. You shouldn't be best friends with your daughter. The hell? In the animal kingdom, distance is respect. There has to be that referential fear. It has to be there. And that referential fear will go on to whatever other men she runs into in the world. But when you have a father that allows her to think that they're on equal footing, it shows. And I can tell when, like, oh, I see it all the time. Women like, oh, your dad is your best friend, isn't he? Aw, I can tell. Of course he is. Your dad just lets you do anything you want, doesn't he? He probably spoiled you and never told you no until you were like 18 years old, right? Of course, I can tell. I can tell. You'd be surprised how many too. Like a lot of guys are like, oh, these sex workers, none of them had fathers. A lot of them do. A lot of their fathers buy their OnlyFans. I'm telling you right now. Weak fathers everywhere, especially here in the West. It's pathetic. But yeah, I'm going on rant after rant after rant. I need to chill. I need to fucking chill. I'm from the West Coast. I'm a father of 4 children. My wife and I began together 15 years ago. I'm 34. Cool. Did anyone ask him that, or hold on? I don't think anyone asked you that, but thanks for sharing, I guess. I am Ja. I am God's intentions. I like your name, though. I like your name. God's intentions is dope. But I don't see how that's relevant to the conversation. Father for 15 years, cool, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully you're not let's be honest, statistically you most likely are like one of these men out here that are just being used by their wives, but hopefully that's not you. Hopefully. Let's see. Don't do it. How important is consistency in everyday life? It's everything. It's how you create momentum for life in every area, whether it's your money, your status, your looks, the kind of skills you have, the craft you want to work on, the purpose you have in life, the mission, the way you serve other people. It's momentum. And you can't keep momentum going if you don't stay consistent. Very important. Very, very important. Let's see. My dad told me not to fight, but I never listened to him. Thank God. See, that's what I'm talking about. I had to say it to you, but your daddy's a bitch. I'm sorry. It's true. But I'm happy you didn't listen to him. I'm happy you had, the foresight to know, like, yo, this man is talking drivel right now. Because again, I've run into so many men that would say that. Like, you should always be suspicious of men that have an affinity for peace and tranquility. Real men are warriors and are okay with chaos. That's what I've come to find. Real men, dudes, like solid men, the men that you can actually trust to be problem solvers and leaders. They're okay in the chaos. They don't talk bad on it. They don't try to shame other men for being okay with chaos. They don't try to, look for the most peaceful resolution all the time. They're not always looking for the path of least resistance. Real men are okay with resistance. So whenever you hear men like, walk around the adversity, pussy, don't listen to them. Do not listen to them. Do not. Consistency breeds trust, and you're not going to be with someone whom you don't trust. That's a fucking lie. I'm sorry. That's true for men, but you'd be surprised how little women care about trust. Women don't care as much about trust as you think they do. They do care about like that solid balance between value and comfort. But if you play the game of trying to get a woman to trust you, all you're doing is digging yourself a deeper hole. Because if you look at the guys women respond to the most, it's not the guys they trust the most. In fact, the guys that get the most emotional investment out of them is the guy they trust the least, usually. Look at them. Don't say I'm wrong. Just literally go out and look in life. Observe real life and come back to me. The women men like respond to the most are men they have no business trusting. You see my point? Keep that in mind. Very important. This is why there's scientists in my name. You got to look at things from like a scientific point of view. Take the evidence that is staring you in the face. Right? Don't come up with your own theories. Look at real life. How often do you see women chasing men relentlessly when it's men that they have no business trusting? Keep that in mind. Let's see. Become a stronger father. To become a stronger father, I'm guessing you're saying, you have to be a strong man. How? Doing hard things. Gym tips, please. So again, yeah, it's doing the hard things. It's taking the massive risks. Most men are weak today, and most fathers, as a result, are weak today because they won't do the hard thing. Right? It's hard to look at your chick and be like, listen, you're adding weight. That's hard to do. Most men will never have the balls to do that, and that's why they're in the kind of relationships they're in. And relationships where their women just fucking don't respect them. No one takes them seriously because they don't even have the balls to be honest, right? And that's like the tiniest bit of balls you can have, much less the harder things like asking your boss for a raise, starting that business you always wanted to start, making that video for TikTok. I was giving advice to someone a few months ago about just like, yo, make your first video. I don't even care what it's about. And this motherfucker still hasn't made it. How much respect do you think I have for him now? And it's like, just do the thing. Just start. Not even the balls to do that. No balls to be confrontational. No balls to go through the hard, anxiety-ridden moments. Most men are weak because they are fucking suckers for anxiety, man. They don't have the ability to just be okay and comfortable in that chaos. Yeah, I know it feels bad to, like, you know, be honest with people and say your rugged truth and be disagreeable like that. But that's what makes men. That's what makes men. You feel me? That's a great point, man. I have to agree with that now that I think of it. Your rants have the most wisdom, to be honest. Hey, I just think of it like God flowing through me. Because God is a feeling, emotional God, and he too gets frustrated sometimes. I've opened the messages to these two girls. Have to start the convo again. Okay. What girls are we talking about? It's that Patrice passion. I love when people say that, though. I take that as a compliment. When people say, oh, that's that Patrice aggression you got. I fuck with that. Because, dude, Patrice was a great man. Patrice was an honest man. And that's why people, you know, looked up to him so much. Because he just said the truth all the time. Ruggedly. And it even cost him his career to some degree. But fuck it. He said it all the time. Shout out to Patrice. R.I.P. Patrice, man. Can you talk about freshest thing about the pregnant babe and how you would handle it if it were you? First of all, if I got that same girl pregnant, no one would bat an eye. That's what I keep trying to, like, explain to people about the whole fresh thing. And, you know, Myron being emotional, trying to act like he's like fucking 300 Sparta defending the guy. Listen, it's not him getting the girl pregnant that's the problem. It's not even him wanting an abortion. I mean, I wouldn't want an abortion or anything like that. But I don't know what his personal beliefs are or whatever. The problem is the talking all that shit about OnlyFans girls for all these years just to get one pregnant. That's the problem. It's the inconsistency there. So if it were me, like as I am right now with everything you guys know about me and how I talk about women, if I get that same girl pregnant, y'all be like, oh yeah, cool, congratulations, Jace. And I'll be like, oh, thank you guys. Because you would know enough about me to know, oh yeah, it's Jace and everything he knows about women. He probably saw something in her. That's why he was willing to get her pregnant. If at all he wasn't willing to get her pregnant, he's not the kind of guy that'll go through like an abortion. He still want to raise a kid. And then on top of that, again, I have the game to make her bend to my will anyway. So it's all good. But with Fresh, it's the inconsistency with their preaching and their actions. That's the problem. It's OnlyFans models terrible. Never do that. These girls in Miami, they're dangerous. And then getting one pregnant. What the fuck? What the fuck? It's pathetic. Pathetic. Now, if I were him in his position, let's say I was him, for instance, I would literally come out and apologize to my audience. Like, listen, I have acted in direct contradiction to what I've been preaching. I am embarrassed. This is ridiculous. I should have known better. Forgive me. And I'm going to do the right thing as a man that claims to be conservative and traditional to raise that kid the best I can. Even if me and the mother eventually don't work things out. That's what he should do. Not come out and try to double down. Double down on what? Hypocrisy? What are we talking about right now? Pathetic. What if they're younger, though? What if who are younger? Is that a chick? Olivia? What are we talking about younger? Who's younger? What are we talking about? Gotta face the adversity. Indeed. When I was younger, I know how to fight, but I was looking for peace and even apologizing like J. Cole. Dude, I've knocked people out and apologized afterwards. Because it's like, damn, I didn't mean to go that hard. I mean, almost every time I've knocked someone out, I didn't mean to. I wanted to chin check them. I didn't think they would like... when you're a fighter yourself and you're conditioned, you forget how fragile the average person is sometimes. And yeah, I've definitely like... Oh shit, my bad. Are you okay? Like, there's this particular one I'm thinking about. It actually happened at a former job I used to have. Knocked this guy out cold. He was out before he landed on the ground. I could see that, you can see when their eyes roll back and stuff. But it's the way his head bounced off the concrete. That shit scared me. I thought I killed a man. Real talk. I was terrified. You won't believe the amount of relief. I think I'm still chasing that feeling to this day. When I was smacking his face and he finally takes that deep breath and starts looking around, the amount of relief that shoots through my body from my spine. Oh my God. Yeah, but even in that case, even after apologizing, I didn't apologize because I was scared of the guy in question. I was scared essentially of what I had done. It was my own power that scared me. That's a different thing entirely, though. Not like J. Cole. You know what I mean? Apologizing because you don't want to hurt someone further is one thing than apologizing because you made the attempt to defend yourself. My father told me fight. My mother said no, but I fought a few times in life when I was a child. I'm 20 right now. Go join a jiu-jitsu gym. Also, I'm Nigerian. You're Nigerian? You should be fighting almost at what? An opportunity should... well, okay, depends on where you grow up in, you know. I grew up on, like, the mainland in Lagos City. There's a lot of opportunities to fight there. You know, but, you know, go join the gym. I know Nigeria is getting big on MMA right now. Go join an MMA gym. Go get some practice. You're a therapist? Not licensed, but in a lot of ways, you might think of me as one. Shit, I charge like one. Born and raised in Europe. Oh, I see. Okay. Not a lot of opportunities to fight there, I guess. Where in Europe, might I ask? Now I'm more ready to fight even if I lose. Dude, it's more honorable to fight and lose than to not fight at all when the need arises. Far more noble. It's better to go out on your shield. That's how real G's do it. You know, lose, eat dirt, bleed, pick yourself, dust yourself off, come back to fight another day. Not that pussy, I don't want to fight at all. Yeah, facts. Woman doesn't give a fuck about trust. I can confirm from life experience. Exactly. Hypocritical move. What are we talking about? Yeah, I knew from the beginning those fresh and fit guys are hypocrites. Me too. You were talking about men not trying to face adversity. Olivier, when you were saying if they're younger. Okay, yeah, same thing applies. I'm sorry. There's a reason the movie 300 Sparta exists. You saw how young them little boys were when they were throwing them out into the forest to go fend for themselves for 12 days and 12 nights. You saw. That's how it works. The world isn't going to care how old or how young you are. It's not going to give a shit. Because the adversity starts as young as like 13 years old. Like, go ask any man you know in your life, Olivia, how young they were when they had their first fight. I mean, if you live in the first world, they'll probably be a little older. I grew up in the third world. You start fighting as young as 9, dude. Like, trouble starts finding you as a man as that young. So that's how this shit works out. That's just how it is. That is how it is. Bro started doing the things that I fear on the daily, kind of gave me more confidence. Because now you know you're not a bitch. I keep telling people, the first person you have to earn the respect of when you want to earn the respect of the world is yourself. You have to be a bad motherfucker to yourself first before you convince others that you're a bad motherfucker. You have to earn your own respect. So you have to do difficult things and show yourself you can. That way when you earn that respect for yourself, other people have an easier time respecting you. That's how it works. Here's an amazing song for you when you're feeling lonely. Rumbo with a V, Hall of Fame. Cool. I'm guessing it's written by you since your name is Count Rumbo. I don't know if you're in the right place though. You got any music for like gym stuff? I have a playlist for when I'm punching the bag. You got any stuff for that or no? Let's see. Welterweight champ of the world. Indeed. Why do you think Patrice never handled his weight or health? It seems like he was improvement oriented. Honestly, that is one thing that still baffles me to this day. If he put that same energy into like looking after himself, but I think in part that's part of why he didn't. He was so aggressively himself, he just accepted the weight as part of himself. You know what I mean? Like he was a stand-up comedian true and true. And one of his philosophies in stand-up comedy was that you can't be a good stand-up comic if you're a happy person. So I feel like it was like Inception, right? He fed himself an idea that he needed to be miserable at all times to come up with amazing material. And Lord knows he came up with amazing material. But yeah, that might have been his downfall, man. It's just it's sticking to a belief that didn't serve him long term, unfortunately. But yeah, that might have been it. Born and raised in Italy. Italia! Ancient Rome. I play soccer, football on the field. I can't play that great, and if I'm not aggressive, but people make me feel bad about it. That's what they're supposed to do. Don't forget, you're in competition with your own teammates. They don't want you to be better than them either. So play aggressively. There was a kid like that back in the day in high school too, actually. I remember him. His name was Chukum, now that I know better as a person, I've grown up a little older now and I have a little more life experience. I can admit that maybe he was on the spectrum a little bit. The way he talked, the way he moved, the way he ran, especially his run, dead giveaway now. But at the time I didn't know. And he was one of our strongest, if not our strongest defenders. He was amazing. And he had this aggressive style of play that was just at the tip of not getting the ref to blow the whistle. It was amazing. He had this down to like a science, right? And everyone would always tell him, like, oh, dude, you're too rough, be careful. Even during practice, he was always going at 100. And I'll be the only one in his ear, like Aaron Yeager to his father, like, listen, stop being a bitch. You can go harder than that. I would be the only one to instigate. Right? Frankly, not because I just believed in the guy or anything like that. I was an instigator, man. That's who I was as a kid. I was just like, I want to see how much more dangerous this guy could be on the field, right? But yeah, I kept saying, like, listen, man, do your absolute best. You see that guy over there? Like, before matches, I was a midfielder. I'd be like, listen, Chukum, before this whistle blows, see that guy over there? I'd point to like the best striker on the other team. See that guy over there? Go break his fucking leg. And he would slide tackle the cleanest. He was so aggressive with his play, but he was amazing, man. He was amazing. So yeah, sometimes you need aggression. Make sure not to let it take over you though. Don't let it take over you. Let's see. First fight I got into was in first grade. I was like 6. There you go. I wish I had mine a lot earlier too. I didn't have it quite as early, but yeah. Fights are important, are necessary. Confrontation as a young man is very necessary. I keep going and pushing networking, but now it interferes with my personal interests. What to do? Networking, like, when you say networking, what are you talking about? Like, why do you even... Okay, let me give you a tip. This is going to be a weird tip for networking, right? I don't believe in conventional networking the same way other people do. I don't believe in walking into rooms and just like, oh, let me get to know as much people as I can. It's useless. The best way to network, I've come to find, and I'm saying this from personal experience, right, is to provide value that people want, and then they'll come to you. Right? That's how it works. I've never asked to be on anyone's podcast. I get requests for podcasts all the time. In fact, I'm setting up one with someone I actually like revere and respect soon. So, announcement coming soon. But I don't reach out to network to nobody. It's not necessary. Because the skills are obvious. They're there. So motherfuckers come to me. So that would be my advice to people. Don't worry about getting people to want to fuck with you. Outside of just creating the baits that'll bring them to you. Create value that they want. And then they'll come to you. Yo, I got back. How long this Second Life been going? How long have I been here, guys? Like 10 minutes? Maybe. It felt like 10 minutes because I've done like many rants back to back to back. And I lose track of time when I'm ranting. But probably like 20 at the most, maybe. How you doing though, Ryu? What's going on? Pereira versus Jamal Hill, who you think is gonna win? I said this in the last live. Everything is leaning towards Pereira winning. With fighting, it's never like who wins and who doesn't. It's like percentages when you want to, predict. I would say if it stays standing, Alex Pereira has a significantly higher chance. Jamal Hill needs to drop his pride and just wrestle that guy. If Jamal Hill wrestles, I think he can win. I do. But if he thinks he's gonna stand up like he's been saying in all these interviews, like, oh, I'm gonna stand up against the kickboxing world champion, are you stupid? I feel like there's a lot of respect for wrestling in MMA, but not a lot of respect for striking. I don't know what it is. Actually, I do know what it is. Wrestling is more dominant than striking, right? So there's always a puncher's chance. There's no such thing as a grappler's chance. You can be the technically worst striker and still knock out the technically best striker because you land a lucky punch. That happens a lot in striking. That doesn't happen in wrestling. In wrestling, you're either dominating or you're getting dominated. That's fine. That's whatever. But I feel like that disrespect is why people like Israel Adesanya was championed for so long. Because everyone just looks at them like, oh, he's just a striker. He can't wrestle. They underestimate the striking. Then they get knocked out. That's how it happens every time. Or they get outstruck for 5 rounds. No one respects striking the way it should be respected. Especially from someone like Alex Pereira with the heaviest left hand on planet Earth. Are you kidding me? They call that man Poatan. Poatan in Portuguese means hand of stone. He knocks people out cold. Not like, oh, I'm just going to touch them and they stumble back and hit the ground. No. Like, he puts them to sleep. You want to strike with that guy? I don't know if that's the right thing to do, man. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. So if he doesn't drop his pride, he's going to get knocked out. If I were him, the moment that bell rings, fake a flying knee, drop level, shoot for a double leg. I'm telling you, don't risk it. Lord knows, if I'm fighting Poatan, all I'm doing is circling right. Circling left, sorry, not right. Circling left. Why am I circling left? Because I'm trying to circle away from his left hand. I don't want that thing to touch me at all. Hey, I picked your self-belief course a week ago, and I gotta say it's very well done. It was a good reminder for what I already know. Thank you. Go through it again. Very important. I'm happy you already knew those things. A lot of people don't already know stuff like that, but I'm happy you do. Practice how you play. Indeed. God is great. He is. Yo, Jace, I just already read that. I feel great and horrible at the same time. Why? It's like mentally I'm a villain, which feels just past being a protector. Okay. Pereira is a stronger boxer. Yes, he is. So I just said, absolutely. If you're a student or beginner, wouldn't it still be better to go around and get to know the recruiters, considering you don't have much value to begin with? Or like if in that kind of situation where you want to network for like a better position, better job, intern, stuff like that, no matter what it is, you still have to find a way to offer value, preferably more value than everybody else there. So if you want to go and talk to the recruiters, that's fine, but you got to say things to them that they've never heard before. You got to offer more value than the other people that are trying to get recruited. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know, like if you want to go into a school like Harvard, for instance, you got to do all this extracurricular activities. You damn near got to be a fucking leader in your community, started a charity organization, all that crazy shit just to get into Harvard. But it's necessary. You have to have that kind of value in order to match the value that you want to get. That's how it works. So, yeah, just knowing the recruiter don't mean shit. You got to give them a value that no one else can give them. By the way, it might not always even have to do with like the job. It can be just the fact that they like you. Like, oh, you're a son they never had. You'd be surprised how many older men want that father-son relationship with a younger dude. That's how you get mentors, by the way. All the mentors I've ever had is just like, I came to them with son energy, like, teach me, dad. And they're like, hooray, I got a son. And they're happy to teach their son. Happy. They'll pour all the knowledge they got on you. You know what I mean? Just humble yourself. You guys know me as arrogant. You should see me when I'm talking to my mentors. I am not arrogant at all. I keep my hands behind my back when I talk to them. I keep my eyes fixed on the floor. I do not look them in the eye. I'm like a little beta bitch boy with them because I want them to think of me as the guy they can trust with all the information they got. That's how you gotta be. You know what I mean? So just having that humility to learn alone, such value. So I gotta be like the Mike Ross to their Harvey Specter. Literally, perfect analogy. Well done. Be the Mike Ross to their Harvey Specter. Just be willing to learn and do whatever it takes to learn, and let them know that you believe that they're the greatest. Stroke their fucking ego, man. I'm telling. Listen, stroking ego of older, more wise, more established men is a lost skill. It's a lost art. There's a reason it's one of the laws of power. Like, don't piss off the master, dude. Make them feel good. Make them think of you and associate you with positive emotion. It's very important. Very important. Let's see. No, I mean my aggressive style of play, trash talk, hit. It's not like liked by my coaches or others. So there's a reason Devin, what's his name? Devin Booker in basketball. He's the same way, aggressive, trash talking, all that. But he just got paid like, what, an $80 million contract this year, even though everyone in the fucking NBA hates him, because there's a value in that. There's a value in being Devin Booker. There's a value in being Draymond Green. Or, what's it? I forget his name. Who am I thinking about? Yeah, is it Yaya Toure? The one bald defender in soccer. They used to like fucking grind his cleats on people's backs and shit. There's a value to being that villain on the field. You gain the attention of everyone else. It's a strategy to like weaken the psychology and the resolve and the morale of the other team. It's useful. It's useful. So maybe your coach might just be a bitch. You know, there's a value to being Balotelli. Balotelli's another good example. Balotelli's amazing, by the way. Shout out to him. The bad feelings come from feeling like I could do so much better, but I'm not taking action. I have all this power in my hands that I either don't have the skill or audacity to convert into success. Be patient with yourself, Ryu. You're doing good, I promise you. You're just being greedy right now, which is good. I like that about you. You know, that's one thing I like about you is your greed. You want more, and that's good. But don't beat yourself up. It's fine. It's fine. Just go through the motions, you know. Let's see. Literally sleep. That's funny. Hand of Stone is so tough. It is, and it's scary. Imagine going into a ring and being locked in there with someone that they say has the hand of stone. He has a tattoo on his left hand that looks like his hand is made of stone. Holy shit, that is scary, man. And win unanimously. Yeah, indeed. I did great out there. But I just realized how small of an amount of my potential I've tapped into. That's good. It's not a bad thing. I feel like girls should be giving me larger compliance faster than they are. I like that you said that too, by the way, because that means now you're gonna get even greedier about how much compliance you get in the beginning. That's good. Not for this specific situation, but in general, aggressive, not being liked. That's fine. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with not being liked. Am I getting ahead of myself for the right track? You're on the right track, man. I promise you. You're being greedy the way you should. Like it's like hitting your first 5K a month and being like, oh, I can't wait till I get to that 20K. And it's like, chill out, just get 10K next. You're fine. You know, it's fine. It's fine. Give yourself grace and patience. Drake finally replied. Did he now? Interesting. Do you have a course on keeping tension in conversations with girls, mostly, especially when they're new? Yes, I do. It's called The Interview Light. It's in my bio. Link in bio, go get The Interview Light. It's very much like the saying, I didn't come this far only to come this far, you know? Exactly. I feel you. Do you make girls give compliance by telling her what to do, like sending her on an errand? Literally, all the time. I was telling you guys in the last live, whenever you want to go on a first date with a girl, make her wear an article of clothing that you want her to wear. I'll literally just tell girls, oh yeah, do me a favor, wear this kind of earring, or wear this color lipstick, or this color lip gloss, or wear this particular color clothes or pants or top or whatever. Literally, all the time. Not only does it increase the level of investment they have in the date and the compliance they're giving to you as a result, it also shows them, especially in the situation where they believe like you're a once in a lifetime opportunity, it shows them that you too are invested in the date, and you know, it kind of makes them feel good about not flaking. So I gotta be so that, I don't know, man, I'm mad at myself low-key for like a pussy. Talk to me, bro, give me some honesty. You're fine, I promise. You're even going out at all, you're fine. Most people don't even go out for you. I promise you, you're good. You're okay. Aggressive dark guy in Italy can really be shooting yourself in your foot. I'm a good person. Don't get too attached to none of that shit. By the way, it shoots yourself in the foot no matter what country you're in, not even just in Italy. Also, you don't have to be aggressive bad guy. Like, oh, you have to always be aggressive. Like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about being a villain. Being okay with disagreeing with others. Being okay with offending others. Being okay with having that point of contention with others. With creating tension out of nowhere. It's okay. Live in the chaos. It's fine. You won't die. Insane numbers, but that's real. What numbers are we talking about? Funny, etc. But stop that shit. Not too much. I mean, if I gotta hit someone, let it be. Exactly. I feel like I should be getting shit like a king type shit, and you will be. Just be patient. Pepe. It was Pepe. Yeah, that's him. Shout out to Pepe. That bald fuck and his aggressiveness, man. Although that comes with incredible levels of courage. Yeah, yes, it does. Yaya Toure is one of my favorite midfielders from my generation. Glad you mentioned him. Shout out to Yaya Toure. Shout out to Balotelli, man. Love Balotelli as well. I got courage for sure, but there's a lot more of it that I don't have yet. All right, I'll give myself patience. Still incredibly upset with where I'm at, though. Relax, you're fine. Just keep doing the right thing. You're doing great, man. You're doing great. After my few classes of jiu-jitsu, I'm hooked, feeling the confidence rise up, not gonna lie. As you should. How often do you go live? That's a good question. I think I'm averaging once every 2 days, right, guys? Or so. Thereabout. I found out why my girl was intermittently ghosting. Oh, why? How long you been live? Like a few minutes, maybe half an hour at this point. What's up, John? I gotta go soon, though, guys. I literally gotta go now. But I'll see you guys later, though. What's up, though? What's up, John? You're late. She was hiding our relationship from her controlling parents. She was visiting them when she wasn't texting. Oh, there you go. Now you know. Good for you. I'm out looking at houses with my parents. Oh, dope. Awesome. I appreciate the perspective, Jace. No problem, man. Yes, once every 2 days. About? Okay. What happened to you posting these lives on YouTube? This is a quick one. It's gonna be easy to post it. Don't worry about that. So anyway, she should have told me, so she's in trouble, but I blew out that up. We're back in touch. Okay, that's good. It's just that it hit me how I haven't been as honest with myself as I need to be. If you feel like you can do more, do more. It's nothing wrong with doing more. It's fine. Nothing wrong with doing more. I hate how I know I could be doing better, but I'm not. But I'll keep it in mind. By the way, that's a good, like, it's good to beat yourself up a little bit like that. Like, when you know you can be doing better or doing more and you're not, absolutely beat yourself up a little bit so you can get yourself up and get off your ass, you know? All right, I'll end it there. Love you guys so much. I will be bouncing. I got a few things to do, errands to run, and then I gotta go watch these fights tonight. And I'll be back on the live later. Go register for my course, my free course, Self-Belief. If you haven't done that already, it's completely free. Go register for it, link in the bio. If you want to get in contact with me, you want to schedule a call with me, link in the bio as well. Go get my personal dating system called the Interview Lite. Get it as quickly as possible. Price will be going up soon for the upgrades. When you do get the upgrades, you don't have to pay any extra fee for it. So consider this like a pre-order of the full 2.0 course, even though the stuff in it right now is already fucking world class. Ask anyone that's already in the course right now. So go get all those things, do what you gotta do. I love you guys, I appreciate you. I'll meet you again. If I can, I'll probably go again tonight a little bit, maybe. If not, then you'll probably see me tomorrow, okay? Love you guys, appreciate you. Do with all this information what you must.